After this big dump to the downside the other day, we've started to see Solana regain some strength and build back towards the upside. But how much further can we see Solana going? What are the potential risks as Solana heads higher than it's ever been before? And in today's episode, we're going to look at some Solana price targets. So make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for my bullish and bearish Solana price targets. So guys, the other day I brought you an update when we were sat around here telling you that we would likely see a dip in Solana as it was hugely overbought, as well as Bitcoin and the rest of the market showing signs that they were starting to look overbought and beginning to show weakness. We did see a big dip in all of the cryptos, and we did see this wick happen in Solana, but it was bought up so quickly from one. It took a dip all the way down to 124, and it was bought up so fast within about 15 minutes. It was sort of returning to these levels around $170, although we did see sort of a bit of a continuation dip following on from there. We have subsequently then started to put in these higher lows, which is very good to see in terms of a bullish perspective, and we are starting to form a pattern which I'll show you right now. What we can see, guys, if we take from this high here and we can draw a line all the way through these three peaks. And also on the bottom side, we can also see these levels developing, which is interesting to see. Now, previously, we did have a similar pattern to this on the way up. And I did say that we don't tend to break through the upside of these patterns because it does require much more aggressive buying to push through these higher levels. However, we are starting to see, and we did see back there, that Solana has still got a lot of aggressive buying going on in the markets, and people still not so willing to sell off their positions. So at the moment, we're maintaining this level around the bottom here, and we will likely see another push. Before we look at price targets for this particular pattern, I want to jump across and look at the Bitcoin chart, because as we saw the other day, we did see this big dip in Solana because of what happened on the Bitcoin chart. Guys, we just talked about the dip on Solana. We can see the dip on the Bitcoin price where it took it pretty much over $10,000 in the space of just a few hours, and then it started to consolidate into this pattern here, which is positive to see in that we're having these higher lows being put in on the Bitcoin chart. But we are sort of in an ascending triangle right now, and because the move is down, this could potentially end up being a continuation pattern to the downside, although we are still maintaining these higher lows. So it'll be interesting to see if we do take a push up to this level here around the $47,000, then we will likely see a push back towards $49,000 and beyond, which is key, because if this happens, then we'll see Solana continue to push up in its channel. However, if we see a break to the downside out of this pattern, then we'll see Solana probably breaking down. What I foresee being the most likely course of action for Solana is if Bitcoin does take a break to the upside, we will see Solana pushing up towards this level here, giving us a third higher high. And potentially, if we are unable then to break beyond this, then we will likely see a bit of a cool off yet again and likely push back towards these levels at around $130. If we look down at the RSI as well, we are also noticing that we do have somewhat of a bearish divergence where we're seeing this price, the price actually going up, but against that we're seeing a downward level of strength. So the strength is decreasing as the price is going up, showing that fewer buyers are willing to enter the market at the higher levels. Although not many people perhaps are selling, we're showing fewer people are willing to enter the market as the price goes up, which is obviously inevitable. As the price accelerates very quickly, people are obviously going to be likely a little wary of paying a premium price for a product that was significantly cheaper only a week or 2 weeks ago. So bear in mind that we could potentially see a cool off for Solana yet again, which would then bring us probably then back towards these levels at around the $130 to $140 level. Again, obviously depends on what's happening in the Bitcoin price, but it's nothing to be too concerned about, obviously, when we see the price. Obviously, we learned a little bit the other day. I saw a lot of people in the comments telling me that Solana was different and that it doesn't need to cool off. And unfortunately, that video did actually happen only probably 15 minutes before we had that dump, and perhaps didn't give people enough chance to react to it. But things are looking positive in Solana. I think the whole crypto market is still looking quite healthy, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to Bitcoin over the next few hours and days. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later with another video. Bye bye.